Hey everyone, good morning. Cynthia Ray here. Excuse me. So welcome to our Thursday morning live coffee chat. So I'm going to be starting doing these every Thursday morning. This is I think my third or fourth week doing it, and bringing you a new informational topic from the research or my own inspiration for the week. So today I'm going to be sharing with you something actually that's pretty cool. It's actually information I'm going to be sharing at my event tonight at HotWorks here in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. HotWorks is a infrared sauna studio where you do your workouts inside saunas. I'm a member and love going there and love the feeling I have when I get nice and sweaty and detox in that sauna. So, and do my weightlifting there as well. So tonight I'm going to be doing a book signing, which is really exciting, between 4 and 6 p.m. at HotWorks over in Riverstone if you're local. Be signing some of my books and doing a meet and greet, and then doing sharing some information on the topic I'm going to be sharing with you a little bit about today. So I hope you're having a wonderful morning. Happy Thursday. And as I was getting ready today, I noticed my container of collagen peptide powder. I was going to grab it, but I don't have it here. Peptide powder that was sitting on my counter. And it was just about empty. I used my last scoop or two yesterday when I put it in my coffee. And I took a look at it and I was like, oh my goodness, I thought I remembered to order one on Amazon, but I guess I didn't. So went back on, grabbed myself one. Anyway, so I picked it up, it caught my attention. I thought, peptides. The word peptides is in there. Now, of course, that's one of those words that's like a key thing everybody's listening to or hearing about these days. And it made me stop and think, like everyone's talking about it for weight loss medications right now. And then here I am holding the container that said collagen peptides. So I thought, okay, wait a minute. What are these peptides? Are these the same peptides that everyone's talking about, or what's the difference? So I had to go back to my college years in dietetics and nutrition and remember, oh yeah, what did we learn about peptides and protein? Okay, peptides are protein chains. They're molecules that are building blocks of protein and amino acids, and the chains and the bonds that hold it together chemically. So I realized if I'm asking this question, I'm sure a lot of other people are asking this question a lot as well. So I thought I'd share what I learned today and what I was reminded of, because I'm the type of person who's a truth seeker. I want to find things out. Since I was a little girl, I've been that way, and that's why I love learning and teaching. So, okay, so the simple answer is they're both peptides, but they have completely different jobs. So a peptide, like I said, is simply a short chain of amino acids, and some peptides are building peptides like collagen and then protein, right? They're the building blocks for our body, for the integrity of our skin, hair, nails, organ systems, bones, our structure, right? And those were the peptides that were in my container, right? Those collagen peptides. Those are basically the raw materials that your body uses to build muscle, repair tissue, strengthen bones, support healthy skin, hair, and nails, tendons, ligaments, and joints. But then there's the other ones, which are the hormone peptides. And I don't remember learning about this in school. Maybe we did, but maybe I didn't. I missed it because it wasn't as popular then. So then there's those hormone peptides, right? So these ones don't build your body, they send messages. So think of them kind of like text messages traveling through your body. They tell your brain that I'm full. They tell your stomach to slow digestion, and they tell your pancreas to slow down they tell your pancreas to release insulin. So these peptide hormones are constantly communicating from your brain to your gut to help regulate your metabolism, appetite, digestion, and then your blood sugar regulation as well. So one of those hormones is called GLP-1, and that's the one that everyone's been hearing about and talking about so much lately. But the exciting part is that your body actually already produces GLP-1 naturally. So in fact, it also produces other regulating peptide hormones as well. And I've spoke about this when I introed my sugar detox book, but there's other appetite hormones as well. So we have one called PPY and CCK. There's also one called ghrelin. Ghrelin is actually that hunger hormone. PPY and CCK are actually the satisfaction hormones. So together, these hormones become your body's natural appetite regulation and control team. So GLP-1, that particular one, helps to regulate blood sugar. It slows stomach emptying and helps you feel satisfied after a meal. Okay. And then PPY tells your brain that you've had enough to eat between meals to reduce cravings, right? Between your meals. So it's more of like that satiety hormone. Actually, satiety is after you eat, and then satisfaction is the length of time that you're satisfied after a meal. So it tells the PPY tells your brain you've had enough to eat and helps reduce cravings between meals. And there's other cool one, CCK. CCK is also cholecystokinin, is released when you eat protein and healthy fats. So that's really cool too. So when you eat protein and healthy fats, a lot of people will say, oh, eat those because you'll feel more full. And that's actually true. It promotes fullness while helping your body digest those foods properly. So like I said, there's also hunger hormones. So for example, if you took I don't know, 200 calorie, let's do 300 calorie bowl of protein, let's say chicken, and a 300 calorie slice of cake in the same container, right? Which one would you be more satisfied with or more full, right? You would be more full with the protein because it's stimulating that cholecystokinin hormone. And then the other cake is actually another hormone that I can't think of the name of it right now, but it's actually, the carbohydrate itself won't stimulate CCK, so you're not going to feel satisfied like you would with a half of an avocado or a bowl of chicken, right? Compared to cake. So a lot of people will say, "Oh, I have my dessert stomach," and that's true because the satisfaction hormones do not get stimulated with a high carbohydrate meal. Pretty interesting, right? But then fiber is a whole other thing. I'll talk about that in just a minute. Okay, so isn't that amazing? It's so cool. I love the way our bodies are. So your body already has an incredible communication system designed to help regulate hunger and metabolism. So naturally, the next question becomes, how do we support these hormones? How do we get more of that going, right? So for years as a dietitian, I taught people, right, eat more protein and healthy fats, but knowing that we felt more satisfied, but not knowing exactly how metabolically and hormonally that's happening. So one of the biggest triggers that we know is protein. So the reason why I encourage women over 40 to build every meal around protein and why it's so popular right now, it just doesn't preserve muscle, which is an amazing thing and a reason why we should do it, but it also stimulates the release of GLP-1, PPY, and CCK. So all of those hormones, the appetite hormones, satisfaction hormones, are being stimulated. So healthy fats are very similar. They also play an important role in foods like avocado, olive oil, eggs, nuts, seeds, and fatty fish help to increase satiety. So you feel really good after eating them, like you feel satisfied, you feel content. And then it stimulates these hormones as well. So the cool thing is fiber. That's a whole nother tool that we can use too. So in my talk tonight, I'm going to talk about the importance of eating fiber first before you eat because it has this really cool effect. So if you're going to eat a meal, have your salad first, have a veggie first, have something that's high in fiber before you begin eating your regular meal. So fiber, we find them in veggies, berries, legumes, basically plant food. So the fiber is the structure of the plant that keeps it whole and solid. So flaxseed, oats, what else? Chia seeds, flax seeds, oats, fruits, veggies, things like that are going to be very great for your gut bacteria and help that as well with the prebiotic, feeding the healthy gut bacteria. Okay, so as those bacteria ferment, certain fibers produce compounds called short chain fatty acids that encourage your intestines to release even more of that GLP-1 and that PYY hormone that's helping to create more sense of fullness and satisfaction. The cool thing is even intermittent fasting and fasting itself can help. And one of the reasons why fasting often becomes easier over time is that people become more sensitive to their body's natural hunger and fullness signals, right? So instead of eating all day long throughout the day, we give our bodies an opportunity to regulate these signals more effectively. So we're more sensitive to our hunger and fullness sensations. So another one is strength training. So strength training and regular walking improve insulin sensitivity and your metabolic health, helping your body respond better to those natural hormone signals because it reminds us that our bodies are incredibly well designed. So we have fats, we have protein, we have walking, we have strength training too. What was the other one? Oh, fiber. are really great at helping to upregulate or create that connection between our brain and our gut, that we are satisfied with a really healthy whole food meal. So when we're eating processed foods, we're not getting that same appetite regulation happening because your brain isn't triggering your gut to signal that these foods are going to do it, because they're not. They're missing a lot of nutrients that our body's actually needing. So a lot of times we eat processed food but never feel satisfied, right? Or you crave it more, and it's never, it's kind of like a vicious cycle. You never feel actually satisfied. Okay. So instead of constantly fighting your hunger with willpower, just like digging your heels in, like, okay, I don't need to eat right now, I need to reduce my calories, we can often begin to work with the way your bodies are created to function, the way God created them to function. So the other thing that's really important is, while you're supporting your body's natural GLP-1 production, it's also incredibly helpful to know that this is only one piece of the weight loss puzzle, right? Or the breaking through a weight loss plateau, or maybe you've been trying really hard to lose weight, but nothing's budging. This is just one piece of the puzzle. So even if you're on GLP-1 medications, I'm assuming eventually you want to get off of them, you can still implement these things to naturally increase GLP-1 and then appetite regulation without the nausea and without having to spend extra money on the meds. So one of the biggest misconceptions that I do see is people thinking weight loss resistance has only one cause, right? So in reality, it's usually several things working together. And that's exactly what I'll be talking about tonight. So we'll explore some of the most common reasons why people experience weight loss resistance, which I can't wait to talk about. So some of those are stress, we know that, because of elevated cortisol, and then because of that insulin resistance, which is very common for women over 40, just in general lately. And then also talking about blood sugar imbalances, losing muscle after the age of 40, or just losing muscle overall. We're going to be talking about liver health and why it plays such an important role in fat burning and hormone balance. So there's some really cool nuances that I figured out about liver. So I always talk about liver detoxing, and needing that to clear up your liver so that way you can metabolize fats and mobilize them more easily when you're on a weight loss journey or body fat loss journey. So some of those things, I'll just kind of give you a sneak peek, are anger and resentment that we have built up in ourselves actually can cause difficulty for your liver to be functioning properly. Another one is acetaminophen, or Tylenol, is actually a big liver disruptor as well. Alcohol. Regular consumption of alcohol is a big liver disruptor as well. So it makes it difficult to mobilize fat when you're wanting to lose body fat. So I'm going to talk about that in detail tonight. I'm excited. And then, so we're going to talk about hormone balance and liver. So liver is actually also very important in hormone balance and regulation and breakdown and metabolism. And then toxins. We're going to talk about hormones and cravings, metabolic flexibility, how to easily come in and out of fat burning, teaching your body to efficiently burn both fat and sugars, and stored fat as well in your body. So we're also going to be teaching about, or I'm going to be teaching about, building meals around protein, healthy fats, fiber, daily habits like strength training, walking after meals. That's another big one. Walking after meals, or getting, you can even do up to, like, if you did 100 air squats, that'd be really great too after meals, because you are taking that blood sugar from the meal and the blood sugar that was produced from it after you eat a big evening meal, and using those large muscles, especially in your glutes, hamstrings, and quads. And by walking or doing squats, air squats, you're actually pushing or pulling that sugar into your muscles and utilizing it when you're doing your exercise. So that's really great to do after dinner or after a large meal. So walking about 20 minutes, or if you don't want to go for a walk, or just don't have the time or whatever, you can do like 100 body weight squats. You don't have to do it all in a row, but you can do 10 at a time and get those muscles pumping. Okay. So kind of went off on a tangent. So strategic fasting is something you can do too. And then also something that gets overlooked is our mindset, our self-talk, and our beliefs is something that we carry about ourselves about feeling stuck. So when you step back and look at it, you realize that weight loss is really just rarely about one thing, right? So the body is incredible. It's an interconnected system that God created. when one area is struggling, it affects other areas in our life as well. And that's why I don't believe most people need another diet. I believe that they need to identify what's creating resistance so they can begin working on their body instead of constantly fighting against it. So, as someone like me who has recovered in the past from anorexia, bulimia, overexercising, exercise addiction many years ago, I know firsthand that really thoughts matter. I mean, I worked with women, men, and children and families with eating disorders for about the first 20 years of my private practice, and it was an amazing position for me to be in, to want to help others into recovery, as I have found as well. So when I was struggling myself for years, I thought that my worth was dependent on what the scale said, what my body looked like, what I looked like in clothes, how other people depicted me. But looking back, it had nothing to do with health. It had nothing with me wanting to be healthier. It was me trying to earn my value. And today I have the blessed opportunity, the blessing to teach something very different, to teach that your body is not the enemy, that your body's actually trying to communicate with you. And when you're constantly hungry, when you have energy highs and lows and it crashes, when you're feeling exhausted, when the scale won't move and your body's trying to tell you something, rather than asking yourself, okay, if nothing's working, what is the other diet I can do? Oh yeah, what did my friend do? Or what did I see online? I encourage you all to ask, what's creating the resistance? Get curious, what's actually happening. Because weight loss is a lot, kind of like driving a car with the emergency brake on. You keep pressing harder on the gas pedal and you can't identify what's keeping the car from moving. And that's exactly what I'm going to be talking about tonight at my talk at HotWorks during the workshop. The workshop is actually entitled Why You're Working So Hard and Still Not Losing Weight. So it's that, e-brake on and trying to push the gas. So if you are local in my area, in the Coeur d'Alene area in beautiful Idaho this summer, I'd love to have you join me and join us. We're going to have plenty of time for questions, and I'd love to meet you in person and chat with you after, and sign a book for you and just get to know everybody. My heart is to help the community, to help you to uncover the things that you're really struggling with and give you answers to the problems that you're having. I know for me, I was blessed by many people in my life who helped me in my recovery, and want to give back and do the same for you all. It's such a blessing for me to do that. So I thank you for following me. I thank you for listening to me and continuing to get curious with me about our amazing bodies. So before I go, I'd love to hear from you. What has been your biggest struggle lately? Is it cravings? Are you struggling with low energy? Maybe issues with poor sleep, stress, which is common, or feeling like you've done everything right, but the weight still isn't coming off. So let me know in the comments below your questions that can help me to inspire these future coffee chat topics, so I can help to give you answers to more of the issues that you may be struggling with. And I want to uncover the truth for that and give you that freedom to walk in freedom without the burden or the questions or the difficulty. So anyway, it was wonderful chatting with you all today. Thank you for being here. Comment with anything that you need help with, and I'm happy to reach right out to you via Messenger, or feel free to message me anytime with your questions, and I get some more ideas for future coffee chats. So I'll see you next Thursday at about 8:30 a.m. Pacific, and I'll talk to you then. Have a wonderful afternoon, wonderful day, and hopefully, I'm excited to see some of you tonight at HotWorks. Have a great day. Bye.